Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zhang. Nice to see you again. Today I will mainly talk about three issues: the panic buying in many parts of China, the possible reasons behind it, a little Chinese guy's message to his fellow countrymen in Taiwan, and the explosive news of the sixth scandal of a national-level CCP leader, the former vice premier and one of the 7 most powerful men in China. First, let's talk about a notice from the CCP's Ministry of Commerce and what that notice has caused. In the middle night of November 1st, China's Ministry of Commerce suddenly published a notice titled Notice on Ensure the Market Supply and Price Stability of Vegetables and Other Daily Necessities in this winter and the coming spring. The notice says due to weather and other factors, the prices of agricultural products, especially vegetables and some production materials, keep rising recently. So the ministry encourages families to stock up a certain amount of essential goods. Local governments should also release information about where people can buy stuff if there is going to be more lockdowns due to the need for pandemic control. This notice immediately caused panic among the public, and people rushed to stock up. Let's see a short video of people rushing to buy in different places.
我的呱呱，是这个高压！我的呱呱，我的个小怪嘞！我的个妈了！
我就是要
超市的墙纸啊，超市的墙纸，你看，墙纸啊。
Well, what amazed me is that this notice has soon spread to even remote villages. Let's watch another short video showing a village head talking to the villagers through the loudspeaker system about this notice from the Ministry of Commerce. Please make sure you read the English subtitles I added.
昨天呢，也就是11月1号，商务部下发了一个通知，部署各地深入贯彻落实党中央、国务院决策部署，保障今冬明春广大人民群众必需品供应充足，切实做好市场保供稳价工作，鼓励家庭根据需要储存一定数量的生活必需品，满足日常生活和突发情况的需要。大家伙儿也不知道听没听明白啊？就是说呀，让大家伙儿多准备点粮食和日常必需品，别跟以前似的，你买大米一买5斤，买豆油你一买2斤，买大白菜你一颗一颗买啊！你等突发情况一来，要是封城了，你该抓瞎了。家里是要啥啥没有，哎， 不让你出门吧，你说那也不能让你吃锅盖呀，是不是？让你出门吧，这个防疫规定啊，到时候就不允许了啊。再往严重的说，到时候就算让你出门，你可能啥也你买不着了啊。这话呀，我可不是吓唬你，常看新闻的呀都清楚，可能要发生什么。越是非常时期，越要服从国家命令啊，听从指挥，做到有备无患。你别起咬鹅掌，只有步调一致，才能打胜仗。好了，不多说了，咱们农村呐有菜窖，萝卜、白菜、土豆子，你多准备点儿，自己够吃的前提下呀，给你城里的亲戚朋友准备点儿啊，别拿我说的话呀当耳旁风，赶紧行动起来啊！
Quite amazing, right? That's how the CCP ensures that even farmers in remote villages get to know the party's latest instructions. Now, the problem is, why would the CCP issue such a notice? You know, it didn't issue this sort of thing or ask the public to stock up, even at the peak of the pandemic situation last year. That's why people are panicking. There are 4 different interpretations of this. Number 1, the pandemic is getting out of control again, and more places could be locked down soon, so the authorities want to give the public a heads up in advance. Number 2, the CCP is gearing up for war, so it needs the public to get ready for that. Number 3, China is having a food shortage. So on the same day when the Ministry of Commerce stock up notice was issued, the CCP's central government issued another document called Food Saving Action Plan, asking local governments, departments, and the public not to waste food and to save food, etc. In one paragraph of this document, it is mentioned that we need to make effective use of rice bran, wheat germ, oil seeds left after oil extraction, potato residue, potato liquid, and other byproducts of grain and oil processing to produce edible products, functional substances, and industrial products. This made Chinese people think about the time when tens of millions of people were starved to death, because the CCP is now talking about making use of even rice bran, wheat bran, and other materials that are used to feed animals. You know, about 20% of China's food supply is imported from other countries. So if China doesn't have enough foreign reserves, importing food could become a problem. So this could be the reason why the CCP is talking about saving food. The number 4 reason is that the authorities just want to scare people into buying more stuff to stimulate a consumption so that the GDP numbers will be better. Well, which do you think is the most likely one? Leave us a comment so that everyone knows what you think. Now, let's watch another video, and then I want to talk about a very important point based on this video. Please make sure you read the English subtitles.
台湾那边的老乡，听说恁那边物价可贵，别急，马上恁的好日子都来到了。等解放完台湾以后啊，俺河南的地摊部队一赶到，那你看那个场景哈，早上起来拿5块钱人民币，3块钱一碗胡辣汤，2块钱的煎包6个，这吃的饱等嘞。到中午，小碗烩面8块，大碗烩面10块，高兴了再兑个烧饼夹肉，30、20的，吃的撑的旺。你等着吧，好日子马上都来到了。好。
What do you think after watching this? This guy speaks in a Henan dialect, which I'm very familiar with. He looks and sounds so sincerely, so happy, and he really believes in what he says. What's more, he definitely doesn't look like a Wu Mao, a 50 Cent Army, or a CCP member to me. He is just an honest, sincere, kind-hearted little guy you will meet every day on the streets in China. But he's so brainwashed by the CCP that he sincerely believes that Taiwan people live in misery and that the CCP can liberate Taiwan in no time and bring good times to people there, and everyone will live in happiness ever after. So this 30-second video shows us that 1. The CCP's brainwashing is very successful inside China because Chinese people don't have access to any alternative information or opinions. 2. The talk about liberating Taiwan must be very hot in China recently and has gained a lot of momentum for such a little guy to create such a video out of his own will to show his care and goodwill for the people in Taiwan. 3. For the little guy in the video and for most Chinese people, being well-fed is the highest pursuit in their lives, and all that is contained in the word happiness. Just like what the CCP keeps telling us, the greatest human right is the right to live. So, for the CCP and many people under CCP's rule, as long as you are well fed, everything is good enough. Don't think or talk about anything else. That's why when this guy from Henan province wants to make a video to talk to his fellow countrymen in Taiwan, how Taiwanese can buy cheap meals and be well fed is all the content of good days and happiness in his mind. Sometimes people ask me, what can we do to help you or to help the Chinese people? After watching this video, I realized one more time that perhaps the most important thing we can do for Chinese people is to help them have access to free information. I don't think it will cost terribly too much to tear down the CCP's Great Firewall if the free world is serious about it. The other day, the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, said that if the World Food Program can describe exactly how $6 billion will solve world hunger, he will sell Tesla stock right now and do it. Well, I don't know exactly how much is needed to tear down the CCP's Great Firewall, but I guess it perhaps is much less than $6 billion. As Elon Musk's Starlink can give Chinese people access to unfiltered internet is already up and running. Maybe it won't cost him much if he has the heart to do it. But I'm not saying that Elon Musk has the obligation to do it just because he is the richest man in the world. And I don't think he should be blackmailed by David Beasley, the director of the United Nations World Food Program, to solve world hunger. That is not his obligation or responsibility. Then, who has the obligation to tear down the CCP's Great Firewall and to help the Chinese people to gain free information? I think it is every one of us. China's population is so large, for every 5 people in the world, there is 1 Chinese person. If 20% of the world population is brainwashed and fooled by the CCP and become tools for the CCP to do evil to the world, isn't that dangerous to the rest 80% of us? So, wouldn't you agree that every one of us has the responsibility If you agree, if many of us agree, maybe we can influence our governments and perhaps Elon Musk as well, then things will change. If we do nothing and let the CCP continue to do evil, all of us will suffer sooner or later. Now, let's move to another piece of explosive news in China in the past 2 days. It is about the sex scandal of the highest level CCP official, a former vice premier and member of the CCP's Politburo Standing Committee. You know, China's Politburo Standing Committee has only 7 members, and it is the highest decision-making body of the CCP. So you can say this man was once one of the 7 most powerful men in China before he retired 3 years ago. So that's why this news has drawn so much attention, not only inside China, but also internationally. People are all asking, why was such an explosive scandal coming to light at such a time? What hides behind it? Well, this affair goes like this. On 11 the 2nd, a very famous tennis player called Pengshuai posted a long article on her verified Weibo account, saying that former Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli, this guy, had just abandoned her after having an extramarital relationship with her for more than 10 years. In a long article of over 1,000 words, Pengshuai gave out many details about how she was forced to have sex with Zhang Gaoli, who is 40 years older than her, how Zhang Gaoli abandoned her 7 years ago, approached her again 3 years ago, and abandoned her again recently, etc. The most astonishing detail is that when she was forced to have sex with Zhang Gaoli at Zhang Gaoli's home 3 years ago, Zhang Gaoli's wife Kang Jie. So this is a photo of Kang Jie when she was younger. And this is a photo of her when she was older. So when Pengshuai was forced to have sex with Zhang Gaoli, Kang Jie was actually outside the room watching out for them. So this is to say that Zhang's wife not only knew everything about Zhang's relationship with Pengshuai, but also helped her husband to assault this young woman. Pengshuai's long Weibo article survived for about 20 minutes and then got deleted altogether and together with her Weibo account. Now everything about this affair has been deleted in China. However, 20 minutes are long enough for this article to be captured and spread all over the world. Apart from being very hot on the Chinese language circle, many mainstream English media covered this too. Actually, at yesterday's media conference of the CCP, a Bloomberg reporter confronted the CCP spokesperson with this affair, but was turned down. Let's watch that moment of the press conference.
Chinese tennis player Pengshuai made allegations on Weibo against former Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli. The allegations and subsequent discussion of them have all been censored from the internet. Do you have any comment to make on the allegations or on the censorship? Thank you.
我没有听说，这也不是一个外交问题。下一个问题。
Well, I guess this affair is too embarrassing for the CCP spokesperson, so he said he hadn't heard about it, and because it was not a foreign affairs issue, he wouldn't talk about it. But please note that he didn't deny it or say it was just a rumor or a lie. As soon as Pengshuai's post came out, first of all, people wanted to know whether her allegations are true. Most people tend to believe, yes, they are true. Pengshuai is already a very famous celebrity in China. So these are the photos of her participating in all kinds of games. She was ranked number 14 in the entire world and had won gold medals numerous times. She didn't need to tarnish her own name to become famous while posting such an article. But the next question is, if this affair is true, it has been going on for more than 10 years, why did she choose to expose it now? Also, just like Pengshuai said in her post, she knew that exposing this affair about such a powerful man was a suicidal act. Why would she choose to do it? So, a lot of people believe that this affair is not that simple. It must be the manifestation of the latest power struggle within the CCP. The fact that Pengshuai's article could survive for 20 minutes on Weibo indicates that there was some kind of behind-the-scene power operating this affair. As in China, the CCP's monitoring of the internet is so severe that all the sensitive words, names, and phrases are blocked. Pengshuai's post with Zhang Gaoli's name in it would not have been able to get through their filters in the first place. Also, the reason why Pengshuai dared to post this article could be that she had already gained promise from some more powerful people that she wouldn't be punished after she exposed this affair. The CCP is going to have its 6th plenary session in November 8th, that is, as soon as only 4 days later. This meeting will be a very important one, in which a very important resolution that will determine Xi Jinping's historic status within the CCP will be passed and announced. It is now commonly understood that in this resolution, which is only the 3rd one in CCP's 100 years history, Xi Jinping's historic status will be raised to the same level as Mao Zedong. So it is no surprise that more of Xi Jinping's political enemies need to be purged, or at least be silenced, before the 6th plenary session. So that is why Pengshuai's article came out only 6 days before the session. It is well known in China that Zhang Gaoli belongs to former CCP leader Jiang Zemin's faction, as he was promoted to his position by Zhang. Let's look at this photo. One of the 2 heads in red circles is Jiang Zemin, another one is Zhang Gaoli. The photo was taken in 2006. Zhang Gaoli was the CCP secretary of Shandong province then, and Jiang Zemin had already officially retired, but was still trying to hold fast onto his power. When Jiang Zemin wanted to visit Mountain Tai at that time, Zhang ordered the entire mountain to be closed to all other tourists for 2 days. As Zhang was too old to climb the mountain himself, Zhang had 8 people carry a palanquin so that was especially prepared for Jiang Zemin. Zhang himself and all other CCP local leaders followed the palanquin like Jiang Zemin's servant. What's more, there is a very famous temple called Dragon Spring Temple in Shandong province. It was built in 1450 and has a history of more than 500 years. On a wall in the temple, there were 3 Chinese words, 真善人, which means truth, compassion, and tolerance. These happen to be the 3 principles that Falun Gong teaches, promotes, and asks its followers to follow in their daily lives. So this is the photo taken in 2001 after the persecution of Falun Gong started in China by the then CCP leader Jiang Zemin, when 36 Western Falun Gong practitioners from other countries went to Tiananmen Square to protest against the persecution. You can see what is written on the banner behind them are exactly the three words truth, compassion, and tolerance in both Chinese and English. So, because Falun Gong promotes truth, compassion, and tolerance, and because Jiang Zemin was the one who decided to persecute Falun Gong, so Zhang Gaoli ordered to have the three words truth, compassion, and forbearance in the temple painted over before Jiang Zemin was going to visit that temple. So this is a before and after photo of that wall in the temple which Jiang Zemin visited in 2006. So you can see from this how hard Zhang Gaoli had tried to please Jiang Zemin. So that's how ridiculous things are in China, because the CCP leader doesn't like it. Even truth, compassion, and tolerance cannot exist in a historic temple that has existed for hundreds of years. Zhang was said to have also been involved in an assassination attempt to kill CCP leader Hu Jintao in 2006. So from this, we can see that the top circle of the CCP is really rotten to its core, and nobody is really good, because there is no legitimate, open, and transparent election and succession system. In order to grasp or maintain power, they have to fight life and death battles like gangsters or evil cult members. Gang and evil cult, I think this is the most accurate description of the nature of the CCP. Or maybe we can add another one, a tourist organization. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, please subscribe to and share my channel, and also go to my website at Jennifer Zhang blog, sign up and become a member of Inconvenient Truth, or make a donation to support me so that I can continue my truth-telling efforts. Thank you. See you soon.